Oh, he's one of them propagationizers.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's jump right into it. If you're tuning in, that's right. Steve Reiser is on the injured list. So you're going to have the main guys tonight rocking what would be the best picks of the week for you. But welcome to season 2, episode 6, our 61st episode, recording in the beautiful home studio in San Antonio, Texas. I'm your host, Ernest Silva. This is Into the Lab. We are going to be live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter tonight. Again, you can comment your picks as we go through it. Gets you a chance at a $25 gift card. If you can beat us, that's even better. You get a chance at a copy of Madden, since I don't know if our Madden person ever responded to you, Paul.
No,
that's a no. So if you can beat our record, then you will go ahead and get that copy of Madden sent right to you. But all right, all social platforms at The Sport Gene, Facebook, on Twitch, on Twitter. I'm winging this. Let's go. This episode is brought to you by Blue Collar Media, where you can find them on www.bluecollarmg.com. All the best sports topics, articles, and these guys on there with their podcasts as well. And this episode specifically is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy, www.thrivefantasy.com, where you can place your sports bets on all your favorite athletes and teams across any sport imaginable. We are back with our NFL Pick'em episodes. And of course, as always, we are going to introduce everybody. So announcer, bring us in to start us off right. All right, from Winnipeg, the 2019 ITL NFL Pick'em champion, making his season 2 return at the Phantom Jazzy, Miles Bloomquist may be making an appearance. We wanted to give him an intro. We're excited for him to share his story, and so we will see that soon. But of course, next we're going to go through the ever so complicated intro of Dre Rogers. Give me one moment.
Give me one moment.
There's another one.
And there's no sound. Perfect.
Slow-mo, baby.
First mute.
So what they said was from Bali, Indonesia, the commissioner of the ITL Dynasty League, at Drake2124. Dre Rogers will be joining us shortly. As I love those things, we didn't have any sound. But let's go on to the main crew from Pittsburgh, co-host of the Puckleheads podcast and co-founder of the Blue Collar Media Group. Twitter handle at Steel Curtain PEH, the man with the most interesting name in the world, Just Paul.
What's up, fellas? 2 things. I need your address to give you free stuff. So take that down right now. Whoever wins this $25 gift card, you can get me at Steel Curtain PEH, and I will give you free stuff. 2, we're without Steve, and I love to hear that Miles is back. It's a great part of the family. So let's have a great show tonight, and let's do it.
Awesome. Yes, if you win, you cannot get your stuff unless you message Paul.
Yes.
At Steel Curtain PH. All right, for future reference, from Wagner, co-captain of the BCMG Stream Team and college football expert at DDog_1123, Davis Cordova.
What's up, guys? Catch my Twitch channel in a couple of next weeks. Let me rephrase that. Here in the next couple of weeks, catch me streaming some NCAA football. It's been a long day. So.
That's all right, Dave. It's been a long day for everybody. From Regina, co-host of the Frostbite Sports Podcast at Frostbite Pod, Jet Folk.
What's up, guys? This is your daily reminder that it is of the utmost importance for the Indianapolis Colts to burn Phil Rivers at the stakes. Thank you. Have a good day.
And sign Rodrigo Blankenship to a lifelong deal.
And sign Rodrigo Blankenship. That man leads kickers in fantasy football. From North Battleford, joining us from the Boomtown Podcast at Andrew Kahn. Andrew Kahn.
I wonder if Rodrigo can throw touchdowns. Anyways, hope everyone had a great week. And let's get into it, boys.
Well, we do know Andy Dalton can, but we'll get into that shortly. All right, so from Guilford, making his return back into season 2 with his fantasy team, probably 5-0 right now. No, Chris Remick.
No, sir. We're sitting at a solid 3-2 right now. My running back core is looking a little tough. Thank you, Kenyon Drake, for disappointing me. Zach Ertz, you too. Special shout out to those guys. But yeah, I'm so happy to be back and talking about some sports. As you can see, clean shaven. Cut the hair, new look, new season. NBA's over. Rip to the Celtics, but congrats to the Lakers. And yeah, I'm just happy to be back.
We'll talk about those Lakers too, but new look who dis, Chris Remick at Asian Tatum, if I didn't say that earlier. All right, let's end up our intros here. From Regina, the man who is leading the football minds with the basketball podcast, from the Shooter Shoot podcast at Shooter Shoot Pod, Kenny Cotterell.
Thanks for having me.
The man of many words. But all right, we got a 3-round lineup for you today. First round's going to be a lot of news and some updates from the gang about some NBA and NFL updates. Big one about Dak Prescott. I really expect the debate to get heated for that. And then we're going to try to hear from Miles Bloomquist. We're going to search for Miles for a little bit. And then we're going to go right into our pick'ems, which is primetime picks. We got some good matchups this week, some undefeated matchups again. And then we'll go into our fire round picks to end the evening. Hope you're with us. Stick with us throughout the whole thing. If you're listening on the podcast, you can zoom right over to probably the 28, 30-minute mark if you don't want to hear the nonsense of the news. But let's jump right into it right after the bell. All right, round one for your ITL Network champion sports scientists. Here we go. We're going to talk about some news, and we're going to talk about the Read All About It segment, which is going to be in the NBA first. But first, Davis Cordova and I are competing again online streaming. We tried to do it last night, but my daughter Lily decided there was other things happening, so I had to jump off. But we are still looking for win number 40 together, and so hopefully that happens this week. Go to our channels. Davis, tell them where your channel is.
It's at Twitch. It's ddog_1123.
And same with me, it's twitch.tv/thesportgene, Sport Gene everywhere. You can find us. Let's talk NBA. And Kenny, I'm going to start with you. The Los Angeles Lakers are your NBA champions. And so I know you're all smiles. How do you feel today?
I mean, the effects haven't quite worn off yet. Very excited, obviously, that they won the title. I was one of their biggest skeptics all year. I didn't know if they really had the depth to get it done. And I mean, they proved me wrong for sure. I think at the start of the year, I had the other team in LA winning the title, as much as it pained me to say it. But it was a great championship run. I'm happy for guys like Dwight Howard, who finally get a championship. You know, he had a great early part of his career before going through some of his own troubles. And then to see him win a ring is nice. And Anthony Davis as well. And it's great to see LeBron get a fourth as well. I'm not going to talk about the GOAT debate at all because you know, that's being exhausted to death on my Twitter timeline right now. So just super excited for the Lakers. Hope that they can run it back next year.
Yeah, perfect. And I'm not going to really we're not going to talk about LeBron's GOAT debate at all with MJ. I think everybody on this panel agrees, unless somebody doesn't agree. Is LeBron not the GOAT? Does somebody not agree with that on the panel?
That LeBron is not the GOAT?
MJ is the GOAT. Does everybody agree with that, or we have debates? No? Oh, I like that then. I'm sorry, Kenny. I'm going to talk about it then. If we don't all agree, that's going to happen. All right. So, Andrew, you say that MJ's not the GOAT. So you think LeBron is the GOAT?
No. No.
Oh, okay.
I think Jordan, yes, arguably the GOAT. But LeBron is making a case to be, if he goes next year and he wins it, I have to say he is. I'm sorry.
Interesting. Jet, did you agree with it, or did I just see you kind of stutter like, I can't believe he's opening the can of worms here?
A little bit of that. A little bit of, I didn't quite understand if you were saying if Jordan was the GOAT or not.
Yeah, I believe Jordan is the GOAT. So I'll just put it there. Does anybody not agree with that?
James Harden? No? Okay.
He's in a close third.
Just wanted to double check.
Close third.
I went super deep into this for like 5 minutes, just went on a rant with Harrison on our pod about like how much I hate the debate. It wasn't even about picking a side. I just went off about how ridiculous it is right now.
Well, congratulations, Los Angeles Lakers. They tie for most championships for a franchise in NBA history, which is awesome. Let's steer a little bit to different players. Dwight Howard, guaranteed Hall of Famer, yay or nay?
Yeah. I think
yeses.
So.
Andrew's giving me a no.
Yeah.
For those in the podcast, lots of yeses. Andrew with a no. Andrew, I'm going to go to you again. Why is Dwight Howard not guaranteed in?
No, his inconsistent play throughout the years would be the only thing that I would have a factor on him making it. He is one of the most dominant bigs when he played in Orlando for sure. He was great. And then it just seemed like it was that Dwight thing where he just goes to team to team to team to team. And I don't think that makes a Hall of Famer in my mind. He won a championship, and I'm happy for him in that aspect in year 16, but I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy.
it's hard to stay consistent when you've gone through 8 teams in like 6 years.
And the injuries too. I don't know about hold that against. I guess Dwight Howard for me with all of his defensive accolades as well as his Hall of Fame. I mean his All-Star appearances and his ability to win a ring. I think he's in for me. J.R. Smith building up his ring database there.
Oh, I thought that you were gonna say Hall of Famer for a second. I was like,
no, I wasn't gonna go
valid.
there. I mean, I might as well talk about Deion Waiters too, but no, let's keep it real. J.R. Smith building up his ring database, and big Anthony Davis conversation. Does this raise Anthony Davis's status in where he ranks in the NBA right now? What did it do for y'all? And Chris, I'm gonna start with you because you're also my NBA guy. Does Anthony Davis go into top 7, 5 category for you, or was he already there?
Skill wise, I think we had a conversation about this like earlier in the season when we're talking about AD and if he could really be the second guy to LeBron because of his questionable playoff history. And he's always, in my opinion, been a top 10 guy skill wise. And I think that just pushes him up to the earlier half of that. I wouldn't necessarily say he's top 5 right now, just because I don't have the entire list of players with me. I'd have to look at everybody, make sure I'm taking everybody into account. But if he's not in the top 5, he's top 6 or 7.
Okay, so top 6 or 7. Anybody still have him outside the top 10?
I never had him outside the top 10.
I didn't either. I just want to make sure if anybody did, you're probably wrong. So just wanted to make sure that was aware.
Well, Steve probably had Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Marcus.
That's true.
Because he's not here to defend himself, so this is just fun for me.
Most of Team
But
USA was in
that
the
is
top 10.
actually correct.
Oh, is it? Is it, Trey?
Welcome, Dre. You missed your intro.
That's all right. As long as it said Kenny sucks, I'm okay with it.
He doesn't appreciate my fantasy football team name. It's understandable.
Well, without Steve, I gotta take my anger out on somebody. So Kenny's next.
That makes absolute sense. Let's talk about the sport that we need to. Congrats again to the Los Angeles Lakers, but let's switch to the NFL, as I think Miles may be making his debut next week. Let's talk about Le'Veon Bell. That's the big news right now, that most fantasy players are kicking themselves for keeping him on your bench and hoping he revitalizes in the second half of the year, and then now he doesn't have a team. Antonio Brown doesn't have a team. Le'Veon Bell doesn't have a team. Le'Veon Bell, I'm going to start with you, Paul. You had him on your team for a while there. Does he play again? Where is he suited?
Oh, he definitely plays again. I never had a problem with him in Pittsburgh. I mean, he was always a good teammate. He just wanted more money than the Steelers were willing to pay. And that was basically the end of it. I think he definitely plays again this year. I actually honestly think he'll be signed before next week. I said Chicago right out the gate, and I'm going to stick with Chicago. But there's a couple interesting fits I've seen today. The Cards would be an interesting fit. The Patriots would obviously be an interesting fit. Kansas City, I think they're having buyer's remorse on Clyde Henry because he cannot punch it in. We've seen it now a third of the way through the year. He is not the goal line back for them. So Le'Veon Bell does have a nose for the end zone. So, but I'm going to stick with the Bears.
Andrew, I'm going to talk to you next. I know Kenny kind of got off screen, so I'm expecting him to come back. But where do you think Le'Veon ends up, and where's a good fit in your opinion?
I would say I like the Bears' idea. I think David Montgomery's shown flashes, though, that he's a very good, capable number one. I would say I like the Chargers with that offense, just the way that Herbert's been moving the ball. I like Jackson. Eckler's injury opens up that spot quite a bit. I don't think they're quite sold on Kelly yet. So I would say the Chargers or the Bears for sure would be my 1 or 2.
Yep. I definitely like those spots. Dre, I appreciate you joining us. I love the streets of Bali. Every time you come on, I just get distracted just a little bit more. Where do you see Le'Veon Bell ending up?
I pretty much think he wants to go to a winner, so that crosses the Bears automatically. I really like the Cardinals, and that wild card about the Chargers is also a good idea. Now, if he just wants to go and relax and kick back and do nothing, he can go to the Buccaneers, and Steve can get his jersey now. So Le'Veon Bell jersey, Steve. There you go. Perfect world, right?
That is perfect. We've heard Chargers, Chiefs, Bears, Buccaneers. I'll add the Dolphins as being another one of those rumored spots because he works out in Miami and he said he would rather be there. So any other locations you guys have heard across? Jet, Chris, Kenny?
I just wanted to add on to Dre's part there. One very interesting thing about the Buccaneers is that they have an incredible O-line, yet their run rank is awful. I think it'd be a super beneficial move for both the team and Bell for him to go to Tampa Bay. Also, people have completely forgotten, and I think it's because Adam Gase is a terrible coach, that you can line Le'Veon Bell up as a slot receiver, and he plays that just as good as any other slot in the league. So, I mean, why wouldn't you want a threat like that when you saw how much success Tom Brady found with James White throughout his career? So that's where I'd go.
I think that speaks volumes for the Bears as well, considering Tariq Cohen is out for the year and they're 4-1 themselves. Sounds like a winning franchise, Dre. But I'll go ahead and move on from that. Kenny, anything else on this topic?
No, not really.
All right, Dak Prescott injured in this last game. Sorry, Kenny. Is injured in this last game, and it was a bad injury. You saw him trying to twist his foot back to face the right direction. If you didn't, we have it right here. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to show the video, but we do have a contract to talk about, right? Dak Prescott's out for the rest of the season. I'll start with you, Davis. You've been quiet. Dak Prescott goes down. Now all the momentum switches back to the Dallas Cowboys franchise. What does this mean for Dak Prescott and his legacy in Dallas as well as his contract?
Depends on what Jerry Jones decides to do, because everyone knows what Dak wants. Not everyone knows what Jerry Jones wants from Dak. I guess Jerry Jones wants him to lead him to the Super Bowl, but wasn't going to happen this year anyways. But I think Dak gets his long-term deal that he's looking for from Jerry. Just depends on how long it is. I think he stays in Dallas after this season.
Okay, so Davis leaning towards a Dallas rekindling in that long-term contract. Ken, you feel the same?
Yeah, I think he wants to stay. Like, he really has enjoyed his time in Dallas. What was he, like a 4th-round pick? And then suddenly he's lighting it up his first year, and then he's won a playoff game for Dallas. It all depends on what Jerry wants to do. Like, this is why Dak should have taken the money in the summertime, because you never want to be playing on a 1-year deal because you never know when something like this is going to happen. It's going to decrease the amount that Jerry wants to pay him, but I think Dak will ultimately take the pay cut knowing the injury status now. So,
Which sucks, by the way.
Yeah,
it really sucks for Dak.
It really does. It puts him in a very bad situation because if Andy Dalton wins the next 3 games going to the bye-in, Dallas is 5-3, and he's playing, 2 touchdowns, 250 yards a game. Andrew, what does that do for Dak at that point, and what do the Cowboys do?
Well, I mean, Andy Dalton is on his way to the retirement bill anyways. He's a good quarterback. Don't get me wrong. He's a good insurance policy, but he has played his best years. They are behind him. I did like what I saw of him. 9 of 11, 111 yards, look good. The biggest thing for me, again, I agree with Kenny, the 1-year deal thing. It really just, I think, kind of, in a lack of a better term, kind of screwed the pooch on himself there. Kind of gambled on himself to make a big amount of money. And I think right now Jerry, again, is in control of the situation. But he also did just come out, I think it was like yesterday, and said that Dak is our future. So that, for me, tells me that obviously they're all in on Dak, which I don't know how you can't be. He's got a winning resume since he's been there. So I hope they give him around the 34 to 35 mark. I don't think that's too high for a guy like Dak for what he's proven already. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but I think 34, 35 is pretty reasonable per year.
I think that amount was actually good on both sides. It was the amount of time. He wanted 5 years. Dallas wanted 4 years. And then he said, well, if it's going to be 4 years, I want 38. And then Dallas wasn't going to do that. Okay, I heard from the Cowboys bias, and the rest of you have been very patient listening. So, Paul, I'm going to start with you before I go to Dre the Hate. What do you think about this situation with Dak and the Cowboys?
First of all, I know you never want to see a player get hurt like that, ever. Great. I mean, we clown a lot about the Cowboys or whatever, but absolutely prayers up for Dak Prescott. I mean, that was just horrible to see. But what I think is going to happen is they're going to tag him again next year, and that basically works out to what he was going to get guaranteed in that contract anyway. I mean, right? I mean, it's going to be about $74,
He'll be getting
$75 million for 2 years, right? He'll make
That would be it.
$75 million in 2 years.
Yep.
And then see what you got. See if because if he doesn't have that mobile part of his game, I don't know really where that leaves him as a quarterback. So that's what I think. Just tag him 1 year. That gives him 30. It'll be like $37-38 million, right, for the tag, something like that. And then he made 31 this year. That puts him at 79 for 2 years. I mean, and see where you're at.
I don't know if Dak would agree to a 1-year lease again. That would be.
Well, they'll just tag him. He can't. It don't matter if he agrees to it or not. Either he signs the tag or he's broke.
He could pull a Bell.
But nobody's going to take him without seeing it.
Yeah.
Disagree with that.
That's a very fine line. Jet, I before I go to Dre, what are your takes on this? With the Dalton experience ends up being amazing. What does Dallas do, and how does that curve the momentum over?
Well, I think actually Dak already had a lot in his favor to begin with prior to this injury, and it's only going to get worse for the Dallas Cowboys. One major thing that nobody's talking about in regards to this contract is the fact that Lamar Jackson's contract is up not this year, but after the next one. That means about mid-season, they'll already start talking extension for him. Every great quarterback makes the quarterback market higher and higher and higher. He's going to do that, and Dak's going to expect more money after that. So the Cowboys already had handcuffed themselves into a situation where they're probably going to have to pay more money for Dak than they originally wanted to. And if they don't, Dak's on a different team, and they're stuck going, well, what do we do?
Yeah, I could
$34 million to solve the problem. Lamar's
and we're not bad enough to be in a Lawrence discussion. That's
correct.
They're still going to find a way to win like 6 games, and then what do you do? Because all the good QBs are gone. So
Sam Ellinger will be there.
Darnold tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll go get Darnold. I like it.
I'm just saying, like that. Everybody thinks he's washed. Like the Jets are terrible. Get him away from Adam.
I was just gonna say that.
Jet and I were actually talking before this, and we were talking about if Andy Dalton thrives in an offense like that, and it is the system, then putting somebody like Sam Darnold in a system that works to bring out a quarterback skill set would actually be pretty decent. If Andy Dalton
Darnold going into that draft was supposed to be the number 1 before Baker ended up ultimately being picked number 1. Everyone was talking about Darnold being the best quarterback prospect in that draft. So it's just a testament to how bad the Jets are.
Yeah, Adam.
Chris, before I let you end out this conversation, Dre, what are your thoughts on the Dak injury and how it affects his contract?
Yeah, I was actually gonna bring the Sam Darnold thing, the topic up, but I guess I got beat into it. But Jerry Jones has always been a very unconventional owner. Like he always does things nobody expects him to do. I mean, just look at that Connor Jackson draft. I mean, obviously it was way better than drafting Johnny Manziel, but you never know. So he might be saying right now, yes, I love Dak and I feel sorry for him, and compassionate, and yeah, he's going to be a Cowboy for life, whatever. But he's just saying that maybe, and if Dalton starts winning, and yeah, maybe they trade for Darnold, I don't know, and one of them works out, I could see them telling Dak thank you but no thank you. You broke your ankle, and it's probably 1 year away from football, and then rehab and all of that, and I don't know, we just don't feel that confident, and I'd rather not risk the Cowboys present, because obviously an injury like that is you're gearing your eyes towards the future, so it'd be the present. And I don't know, I don't think you can guarantee something when you're in the Cowboys organization. So unfortunately for you and for Cowboys fans, I wouldn't be that 100% sure that Dak is going to stay a Cowboy. And I can still see that you haven't used the dye orange color hair yet. So
Not yet.
I guess we're gonna have to wait one more week for another victory, and then we'll have a new Ernest look.
You're absolutely right. The Red Rocket's definitely going to come out for sure. Chris, was Dak on your fantasy team?
No, he was not. Russell Wilson
Okay.
is my guy. So fortunately
lucky.
dodged a bullet there.
That's good. That's good. Any dog in the fight and whether you want to see Dak stay a Cowboy or not?
I'd like to see Dak stay just because I think he was taking all the right steps to be great there and have a very long career. And the Cowboys have always been like a very talented team and have fallen short to most expectations in previous years. And so it was exciting to see Dak kind of come out this year and perform and try and prove those doubters wrong. But in my opinion, I think it all depends on how this season plays out. Do they go get another quarterback? I heard Matthew Stafford was a potential like trade or pickup that they were looking for. I don't necessarily know if that would work, but Paul made an interesting point about tagging him. I think from the franchise's perspective, that would probably be the smartest move, just to see how he recovers when he does come back and how he progresses just in that year. Because we've seen with major injuries from players, it usually takes a little over a year for them to get back to 100%. But it all depends on whether Dak's willing to do that to prove that he's still 100% and he can get to 100%. But I mean, we'll see. I'd like to see him stay there though.
Yeah, I think I would too. I just, Matthew Stafford's intriguing. Bring the man home. That would be intriguing to me. But I mean, it's a rental, right? You're not gonna. It's not your franchise quarterback, but a rental to get through the season. That's why you got Andy Dalton though. So I think Dalton is the Dalton train is all year this year.
Andy Dalton's getting the Tony Romo experience this year of having a ton of weapons, but your defense is just hot garbage, and you're gonna finish like 6-10. So I hope he enjoys it.
I mean, Steve's favorite, Stephen A. Smith, actually had a complete or an entire show talking about how happy he was that they signed Andy Dalton. So you never know.
When you have ESPN in your pocket, you never know. It's too bad this injury didn't happen a week before Deshaun Watson was on the trading block. That sucks. Just Paul, I'll let you end this Dak talk.
But I mean, what do you think about? I mean, Jerry's timeline plays a big part in this.
Yeah, he's old.
He's not getting any younger, and he wants another title. Like, I don't think he wants to wait out to see.
There's a lot of money in that team right now, too.
He's put a lot of money out to win a title before he's dead.
And it looks like Steve's burner account is giving us some feedback on this topic. So let's go ahead and tune into Steve's burner as we hear his take on the Cowboys.
Trey's celebrating a lot. I wonder why.
This is Steve Reisman. A little under the weather today. I will not be on today's episode, but I want to leave you with this message. Andy Dalton is the best thing to happen to the Cowboys. He will lead them to the Super Bowl and win Super Bowl MVP.
Quick and interesting.
So Steve Reiser's burner accounts and Andy Dalton will take the Cowboys to the Super Bowl and win Super Bowl MVP. I think I'm going to end that new segment on that. And I hope Steve Reiser's burner feels better too. It seems like he's got some sickness going on. Let's end the news segment with our last topic. I don't even know what to say about that. That voice gets me every time. Let's talk about Melvin Gordon. He's going a little too fast now. We're not talking about the field anymore. The Jet and Kenny made a wonderful trade last night, and we're going to bring that out and talk about the trade of the week and then how Melvin Gordon decided to go 39 miles over on the highway and is probably not going to play. Jet, I'll let you do the honors. Talk to us about your Melvin Gordon news this morning.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the boys, not going to lie. I was pretty desperate. I was looking for help at running back. I knew that Kenny had his eye on Devontae Adams. He's kind of eyeing up because we're in a PPR league, sort of stacking. I think he had Hopkins already and wanted to do the receiver stack, which made a lot of sense to me. So we put a trade together that was Odell Beckham Jr. and Melvin Gordon pre-DUI for got to get that in there for Devontae Adams, Daryl Henderson, and Cam Akers. I think he threw in Sony Mitchell as well, who's on IR, but it was just kind of a throw-in piece. And wake up this morning and old Melvin Gordon's ripping around Denver, a little drunky poo. So, yeah.
And Kenny's all smiles because Kenny makes another NFL move as a basketball podcast. Kenny, how did you feel waking up to the news?
Oh, honestly, I couldn't help but laugh the second I saw the notification. It was like, the worst part about it was Jet could have had David Johnson in the trade instead of Melvin, but because he had Deshaun Watson, he thought, I don't want the running back and QB stack. So that I almost didn't do it because I preferred Melvin to DJ, and then said, all right, fine, I'll throw in Melvin. And then, of course, I get that notification, which is just hilarious. And it happens, unfortunately. I made another trade earlier this year, and then suddenly the guys released the next day. Or I drafted like Ronald Jones in like every league, and then they signed Fournette, and I thought that it was a nightmare scenario. So I don't even think a DUI is that big of a deal, like in the NFL per se, because I think at worst he probably misses a week. Then he's back to playing football again. Like, those owners care more about wins than they do about that stuff. So
according to the Yahoo insiders, he's probably looking at a 2 to 3 game suspension from the league. And that's not even counting what the team might do to him.
And if you are a young listener and you're deciding to do a DUI, don't do it. It is a terrible thing. Unlike Kenny, it is a bad thing.
And it costs you like 10 grand.
Oh, I don't have one. I'm safe.
I did see on Twitter there was a picture of Kenny in Denver last night with Melvin Gordon.
Really?
Yeah, I actually flew there. I broke the border barrier, and
he traded him to Jet and got him all drunk.
And actually, Belichick is actually in the back seat. You see, they play this week.
Yeah.
So we had to make sure
Bill
that
and I
the
are
starting
tight,
running
man.
back
Like
wasn't
this.
playing. That was the whole thing was about.
Steve sent me his cell number, and I just gave him a call, and we met up in Denver.
Makes sense. All right, that wraps up round one and all of our news. Paul, who was round one brought to us by?
Living my best cigar life. Check them out. They got their best cigars, humidors, accessories, whatever you need smoke related. livingmybestcigarlife.com. Enter the code MyBestCigarLife, all caps. You get $10 off your first order.
All right, you came here for the picks. We're going to the picks. Primetime picks coming in our second round right after this commercial break. All right, that's the bell. Round two is our primetime pick'em, where we're going to break down the 5 biggest games of the week. And trust me, we got some doozies that we're going to hassle out here. Let's start and head over to Pittsburgh. The undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Cleveland Browns in the battle of the undefeateds, a divisional matchup where we are going to be probably split on this panel because it's going to be a very big dogfight, no puns intended, for those Cleveland Browns. Pittsburgh, 3-point favorites for our primetime pick'em. I'll go ahead and start this one off with Paul. This is yours.
I mean, to me, this comes down to, can the Steelers block up Myles Garrett? If the Steelers can do that, those receivers will absolutely shred that secondary. I watched it last week. Indianapolis, when they gave him time, they moved the ball up and down the field. We've seen it with Dallas, move the ball up and down the field. So I do think Myles Garrett is a problem. He's going to be motivated. But the Browns, the last time they won in Pittsburgh, Tim Couch was their quarterback. I don't see that changing on Sunday. Give me the Steelers to cover.
So Paul taking the Steelers and to cover. I'm going to switch gears over to Jet. Jet, you were contemplating this game quite a bit and you were dissecting numbers. Talk to us a little bit about what your pick is.
Well, the more I look at it, the more I realize that really what the Browns have going for them is that massive run game. They're going up against the second best run defense. I'm going to trust in the Steelers defense to stop it. They're only allowing 64 yards a game on the ground. If they can limit Hunt, that's just going to completely cripple the Cleveland offense. So I'm going to go Steelers to cover.
My co-host Steve, the General Reisner, chose Pittsburgh offhand, so he has chosen Pittsburgh to win this game and cover. Davis, you popped on my screen, look ready to go. Who do you have in this one?
Give me the Steelers because one, I still hate Baker Mayfield, and two, the Steelers have a really good defense. So
Davis taking the Steelers because of that defense. At how many points did he give up to the Eagles?
Yeah, it's not, and the Fugum,
Hey.
whatever the fuck his name is, Fogel.
Fulgham.
Don't want to say that was an incorrect statement. I mean, I have the Steelers defense in fantasy, so I'm hoping they can take care of the Browns.
Baker
All right.
throws 3 interceptions.
There you go. Baker throws 3 interceptions, guaranteed. Book it by Davis. Kenny, champ, who you got in this game?
Yeah, I'm taking Pitt to win this one as well. Baker had 2 picks last week against Indy, and Indy had a pretty solid defense, and Pitt does once again. So I just have a feeling that they're going to stop Hunt. And, I mean, if you make Baker throw the ball, then good things are going to happen. So I'm taking Pitt to cover by a touchdown.
Perfect. Andrew.
Well, I'm gonna get crucified for this. I just thought Myles Garrett. Just saying. He's been looked unstoppable all year, and I think I took the Cleveland Browns to win last week against the number 1 offense or number 1 defense in Indy. I think I did. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep rolling with them because that offense is fun to watch. That is, you got Odell Beckham throwing touchdowns. You got Jarvis Landry throwing touchdowns. Anybody but Baker apparently throwing touchdowns. But that's a fun offense, man. And Kareem Hunt looks like the Kareem Hunt with the Kansas City Chiefs of old. So I don't know. I like them, and I think they win by maybe a field goal, maybe a touchdown. I'll go with the touchdown.
Yeah, but
roll with, you're rolling with the Browns.
What you completely forgot to mention about that game is that Phil Rivers was the best player on the Browns.
It's true.
I don't think Big Ben's going to do that at home.
Andrew
Ben doesn't throw interceptions.
Picking Cleveland. Chris, what fantasy players do you have in this game, and who are you picking?
Surprisingly, none. So I have no bias towards this game whatsoever. So, but I have the Steelers in this game just because I trust Big Ben more than I trust Baker.
Got you. Dre, what about you? How are you feeling about this game?
Fantasy players, I'm gonna say OBJ. I think he's gonna have a pretty solid game, maybe like 6 receptions, 101, and maybe 1 or 2 touchdowns. But I agree that the Steelers will probably win this game. So Steelers win and they do cover.
I'm taking the home team Steelers to win and cover as well. I trust the Steelers at home to take care of business, but talk to me about this matchup when they're back in Cleveland and we'll have a different discussion. Let's move on to our next primetime game, the game of the week, in my opinion, but it's Green Bay visiting Tampa Bay. So Battle of the Bays, Green Bay 1-point favorites on the road visiting this team. I'm surprised by the low spread. Steve, the General Reisner, picked Green Bay to win this game. So before we get any slander, I know he picked against his boy Tom Brady. Andrew, starting with you, Battle of the Bays, who do you have?
Devontae Adams is back. Aaron Jones is a monster. Aaron Rodgers has figured out that entire offense. That's a scary team, man. I'm definitely going with the Packers.
Perfect. And Dre, this is your team, so let me go to you next. Completely slipped my mind. Talk to us a little bit about this game and who's winning.
Now I finally understand why Steve faked him being sick today. Now I get it. He's probably going to be hiding from me all week long, right? Because he knows the Packers are going to be his favorite team in the world.
Dre picking the Packers.
Yeah, Packers coming off a bye week, healthier team. We're gonna run over them. Yeah, book it.
Yeah, that's a book it statement from Dre Rogers and from Bali. Paul, who do you have in this game?
It kind of scares me a little bit, that spread. That's always trappish like that. I mean, everybody's going to pick the Packers. So, you know what? Give me Tom to bounce back this week, and I'll take the home dog.
Taking Tampa, that believing in that Gronk 100-yard 2-touchdown game. I feel that. I feel that, Paul. With that feeling, I'm taking Green Bay. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is losing. Not to Tampa Bay. Not to Tampa Bay. Chris, fantasy implications. What's going on?
Oh, well, I actually picked up the Green Bay's tight end. He had three straight solid fantasy weeks, so I'm going Green Bay in this one. Devontae Adams being back will take a couple targets away from him, but I still think he'll be effective.
Perfect. Robert Tanyan, big game this week for Chris for sure. Davis.
Four touchdowns from Aaron Rodgers this week. That's what I'm picking. Give me the Packers to cover.
Davis says 4 touchdowns for Aaron, and somewhere Steve is saying 5 for Tom somewhere out there as he's listening to us. Jet, what do you think?
2 things really stick out to me on this game. One being that the Green Bay Packers are the #1 team in football for time possession. They're really good at having the ball, keeping the ball. The other thing being the Tampa Bay Buccaneers cannot get out of their own way. They've taken 42 penalties already, and that is going to be a huge X factor in this game where you cannot have any mistakes against Aaron Rodgers. Give me the Packers to cover.
Perfect. Kenny, wrap us up on this game.
Green Bay is going to win this game. Rodgers, 13 TDs, no picks. He is going to pick up his first interception this week, but he's also going to have 3 or 4 touchdowns in this game. So give me Green Bay to win this one, especially with Adams back.
Perfect. So almost a sweep. Paul taking the home team there. Let's talk about the next game, which I feel we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on because San Francisco has really been reeling. But San Francisco at home hosting those Los Angeles Rams, 3.5-point favorites on the road. Another divisional game that's going to be probably a bit of a back and forth game, and then somebody's going to pull away here. I'll start this one off with Davis. How do you see the Rams rolling into San Francisco?
Mute.
Our first one, mute number 1. I don't even know if he's there at this point.
No,
Let's
he
go
might
ahead.
not be there.
Let's switch it up. Jet, talk to us.
Well, for this one, I think it's a bit of a trap game. It's a divisional game, and San Fran's coming off getting their asses handed to them after being NFC champs last year. I don't think they take too kindly to that. They're very familiar with the Rams and the Rams offense. Not much has changed, honestly, even though they call McVay Wonder Boy. I look at this one and think San Francisco is significantly better than what they showed last week against Miami. I still like the Rams to win, but I'll take San Fran to cover.
Gotcha. Perfect. Chris, what about you?
I got the Rams in this game, just because we don't know Garoppolo, like how he's going to feel. Obviously, he played like half the game last week, and I think he had 77 yards, and he was 7 to 17 for completions. He really struggled. So we'll see if he gets to bounce back. I think he will, but I just think that the Rams have a better chance in this one.
Awesome. I am taking the Rams to win and cover as well. Let the 49ers get back. I'm very intrigued. I feel like Kenny's not going to pick the Rams. So Kenny, talk to us. Who's your pick?
What made you have that impression, Ernest?
I just felt that. I got that vibe from all the reactions to everybody's picks.
So I'm agreeing with Jet on this being a trap game. San Fran at home, they haven't played well. There's even been people talking about if Jimmy G is the quarterback moving forward, which is insane given the amount of money they've poured into him. So I'm going to take San Fran to win this game. I don't like it, but divisional games are always tough. And I think with them being at home, they're going to split with the Rams this year. So I'm going to take San Fran.
San Francisco from Kenny's words to your ears. All right, Paul, who do you have in this game?
I feel the same way Kenny does. When professional athletes get absolutely embarrassed, like they were absolutely embarrassed last week, they're bringing their A game this week. I mean, they might, I don't know if they win or they don't win, but they're definitely going to come up to play. So give me San Francisco to win at home in the upset.
Perfect. Andrew, talk some sense. Are we on that San Francisco train?
Going with Kenny and Paul on this one for sure. Yeah, I think Garoppolo has a lot to prove. Like Kenny stated, the whole rumors for him being traded is just asinine. It's absolutely stupid to think how much money they would give him. They would just give up on him after one bad game. They pulled him. Apparently, Kyle Shanahan pulled him in the half, not because he was playing bad, because they're worried about his mobility on his ankle, which worries me a little bit. But then you got Mostert, who was also just coming back off injury. I think they'll win.
Dre, going over to you. Do you feel the same way? 49ers all the way? Second mute.
Second mute.
Second mute. Man, we're getting getting sloppy.
Niners.
Going short and sweet. He's going Niners here. Davis, round this one up. Who do you have, Rams or Niners?
This does look like a trap game, but the Rams are a really good team, and no one's really looking at them like no one's taking them seriously. And I think Garoppolo is what Tom Brady should have been when he came out of college. Not that good. So I give me the Rams to cover.
I really feel this is your makeup a game on Kenny's record right now. Like you
That's
are saying,
100% what it is.
I am going Rams because
so
Kenny
bad.
went Niners.
He used to make up ground somewhere.
No, definitely not. I would pick the Rams 99 out of 100 times.
There you go. He's that
one
confident.
time is why you're trailing.
Let me just ask, what is the Rams record? Anybody have that offhand?
4-1.
4-1.
What are the Browns record?
4-1.
What is the Seattle Seahawks record?
5-0.
5-0.
Well, it's all the teams the Cowboys lost to. It's just interesting how good those teams are. Anyways, we'll just keep going here. Kansas City gonna play against Buffalo. Kansas City 3.5-point favorites on the road. This is a game of conversation for sure. Chris, fantasy implications here for you. You taking the Chiefs to pull the up or to win on the road, or you have Buffalo defending home turf and pulling the upset?
Well, I actually just dropped the Bills defense in preparation for this week because Miami was available and they're playing the Jets, and everybody knows that just means that the Dolphins defense is going to have a nice game. But so other than that, no fantasy implications here, but I'm still taking the Chiefs to win the game just because I never bet against Pat Mahomes. Yeah.
Perfect. That's short and sweet for me as well. Dre, you feeling the same about the Chiefs at home? I mean, the Chiefs on the road?
I'm always saying Bills Mafia, but after 2 days ago, or was it yesterday? I have no clue when the game was.
Yesterday. Yeah, you're right.
I don't feel that confident with the Bills, but they are playing at home. But Chiefs just look, coming off a loss. I don't know. I'm just thinking this game's going to be really close. And then if you ask me to pick between Mahomes and Allen, I'm just going to say Mahomes. So Chiefs win, but maybe with a last-second field goal. So.
Okay. All right. So Chiefs win, but don't cover. Paul, you feeling the same way? You think it's going to be a close game?
Yeah. I mean, anybody know anything about Trey White? I mean, is he out? Is he gonna play or not? He didn't play last night. And you could tell.
He was a game time decision.
He's still questionable.
Yeah, he's limited.
Yeah. So, I mean, if he doesn't go, then I like the Chiefs to cover. If he goes, give me the Chiefs, but not to cover.
Okay, perfect. I will mark that down for you. Jet, we were talking about this game also before the show, and we got into some stats. Talk to us a little bit about what your pick is.
Interestingly enough, I think that if Sean McDermott had a phone and could get a call to me, I could tell him what to do against the Chiefs for them to win. Because Kansas City is significantly struggling, not only against the run, but particularly against quarterbacks that take off. And I think they could take advantage of that if they had a little Josh Allen from last year show up this game. I don't know that they're going to do that, though, and I think they're going to lose because of it. Like we were saying before the show, Pat Mahomes does not lose back-to-back, so I'm going to have to go Chiefs, and I will take the spread with them as well.
And that's exactly where I was going. My pick, Kansas City covers. They have not lost back-to-back games in the regular season with Patrick Mahomes. Kenny, I'm going to go to you after I go to Davis. Davis, what is your pick for this game?
Well, as Kenny and Paul were talking about, professional athletes bounce back after bad losses like the one last night. Give me the Bills.
Oh, he's taking Buffalo. Another big pick here. An upset pick. Kenny, who do you have in this game?
Thanks for helping me make up for that San Fran pick. John Brown and Zach Moss being out last night, I think really hurt their offense. Like John Brown just really helps Diggs be even more productive than he has been. Like those two together, and Josh Allen's got great chemistry with him. You saw it last year. And Moss just gives them another dynamic in the run game and being able to get him out catching some passes as well. So I'm going to take the Chiefs to win, but I do think that if those guys play, then they're going to cover like the Bills will. So I'll take the Chiefs though to win.
Perfect. So Chiefs to win, not to cover. Andrew, round us up on this game.
Man, I'm going with Davis on this one. I think Bills pull off the upset. The one thing that I did notice too that Jet kind of alluded on is that secondary in Kansas City gives up a ton of deep balls. Derek Carr roasted him on that Ruggs play for 70 yards. I mean, the thing is, Josh Allen, when your back is against the wall, we saw it last night. He got embarrassed. I agree with Davis a lot. I think Josh Allen comes out. I agree a little bit with Jet too. You get those legs running. I think you go in that offense. Josh Allen can roast that defense. So I'm hoping I'm right on that one, but I think the Bills win it.
Perfect. Thank you. So that game is going to be a very good game. And if you're making a bet on that, keep your eyes on the injury reports. Keep your eyes on who's playing, who's not playing, if you're going to put money on this game. And when you start see things trending, there's a reason for it with this type of game. It's because somebody's out. So go take a look at those lists. Let's round out our primetime pick'ems with our game of the week, which is Arizona visiting Dallas. Dallas going in as 2-point underdogs at home. Arizona riding that Kyler Murray train, DeAndre Hopkins hookup. Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, getting his first start as a Dallas Cowboy. I'm hyped, guys. I'm hyped. Like I don't know why you guys are not hyped with me here. You guys seem so disheartened by this game. But let's talk about injuries. Dak Prescott obviously not there. This is a big Zeke game for me. It's going to be Zeke. It's going to be pounding the rock. It's going to be Dre's favorite, Tony Pollard, coming in. I really hate Tony Pollard on special teams. I don't know why he's still out there on special teams. He's terrible. And the Dallas defense getting some rest because the offense will be controlling time of possession. I'm taking Dallas for the win. As shocker to everybody, Dallas wins this game and upsets on Monday night, and the talk starts onto who is the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, and is Andy Dalton it? So with that being said, let me tell you, Steve picked Kansas City because I don't think I said that earlier, and Steve also picked Arizona to win this game. So going over to Davis for this game, who do you have between Dallas and Arizona?
Very, very tough because the Cardinals are an iffy team. They're either on or they're not every game. Like 2 weeks ago, Kyler Murray was just terrible against the Lions. Couldn't get anything to D-Hop. And then last week, they go off. I think they're just spotty, but again, the Dallas defense is very bad. So give me the Cardinals and to cover.
Beautiful. Thank you, Davis, for that win. Andrew, what about you?
We're going 2-4. The only reason why I say that is because our team against the run has just been horrendous, and they've got two guys that are probably going to make this defense look like more Swiss cheese than it already is with Edmonds and Drake. I like Kyler. I think he's a great quarterback. I like Andy Dalton. I think he has a decent game. I don't think he is what everybody thinks he is. He's not going to be the savior. So Ernest, calm the hell down on that one. He is definitely not going to be the quarterback of the future, but it's a close one. I think the Cardinals win by a field goal though.
The more that we don't expect the Cowboys to do well, the better they play. Kenny, what about you?
Yeah, I don't have much faith in the Red Messiah like you do. So I'm going to take Arizona to win this game. I'm so confident that they're going to that I'm starting D-Hop and Fitz in a league together because I think they're going to absolutely kill our defense.
Couldn't disagree with you more. Paul, what about you?
Shocking.
Hey, what's the Atlanta Falcons record?
0-5. That's a win,
And
though.
what's the Giants record?
I knew this was coming.
Ooh, I don't even know. Are they undefeated? Have they not won a game either?
Oh, they're
Baby.
0-5.
0-5.
0-5? Are they
So the
0-5?
Cardinals have won football games. So
Have they? Are they
2-2?
2-3?
They're going to win this football game against that terrible defense. There's no way that defense is stopping DeAndre Hopkins or that running game. I do want to see if they just play to Dalton's strengths. If they can play to Dalton's strengths and keep that defense off the field as much as possible, they have a chance to make a run at this, especially in that division. But not on Sunday. Give me the Cards.
I like to point out time of possession will go way up with Andy Dalton running the
Better.
show for Dallas.
I do
Yes,
want to
Andrew.
mention one. I do want to mention one thing though. Leighton Vander Esch is back this week, so that does help that defense. That is
Yeah.
a little shitty, a little bit better.
Yes.
Just the spark the defense needed. Jet, what are you thinking?
This is going to be the 1 week buffer where I'm not taking Cowboys, but it's only because it's this week. I want to see if Mike McCarthy can adjust. He never got the ball to Aaron Jones when he was supposed to. He doesn't seem to know how to use Zeke properly. Can that change? Can the force of Dak missing time force him to actually use this Studley O-line and this Studley running back? Because if that is the case, maybe they can actually have a season here. But if he can't figure that out, they're going to just end up being another 6-10 or 7-9 team. So for this one, I'm going to go Cardinals. I'll take them against the spread. But I'm going to be watching very closely to see what kind of offense they're running.
Yeah, very excited to see that Mike McCarthy, Kellen Moore offense featuring Zeke on Monday Night Football. You guys are going to enjoy it. Chris, fantasy implications. Who are you rooting for?
I got the Cardinals in this game, and I just want to take the time to send a little message to my buddy Kenyon Drake out there. Buddy, if there's any week to bring home some points for your boy, it's this week. And I know you got a touchdown last week, and that was awesome, and that was great. It made me so happy. It made me 3-2. So if you could just continue that momentum, I'd greatly appreciate it.
Chris is like begging his ex-girlfriend to take him back right now.
That's true.
You can win the D-Hop as well.
Mark is definitely going to be editing that and putting that out there for Kenyon Drake. Dre, wrap this up for us. Who do you have in this Cardinals-Cowboys matchup?
I will agree with you on something, Ernest. It will be Tony Pollard time.
I'm all about it, Dre. Sounds like you're picking the Cowboys.
Definitely no.
This is where I
know-
gain a win on all y'all, just so you guys know it. This is the game that's going to be a trap for y'all. But I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
That defense is not good at all against the run, and Kenyon Drake is finally going to show up. This is the game for him. So Cardinals by a lot.
Okay.
Sorry, Ernest.
It's okay. Thad Castle's going to have a field day. All right. So round 2, primetime pick'em. That was brought to you by Taquito Express. You can find them in the beautiful Brownsville, Texas. All you can eat tacos for $7.99. Wonderful family-owned business down there. Love it to death. They were very, very helpful, supportive. Mention ITO, get 10% off your tacos today. We're going to go down there one day, and we're going to have a big episode at Taquito Express. They're great supporters of the show. We're going to be back. Fire round picks. Last 10 minutes of the show right after this commercial break.
10 minutes. That's the best joke of the night.
Round 3, that's the bell. The last 10 minutes of this show is we're going to be talking about all the games that are left. Let's zoom right through it. The Super Bowl bound Houston Texans going on the road against those streaming hot Tennessee Titans who are still undefeated. Tennessee only 3-point favorites at home against this streaking hot Houston Texans team without Bill O'Brien. I'm very surprised. We might as well start this off with Steve, and Steve is picking the Titans to win this game. Again, just the money line. Let's go around the room. Chris, who you got in this game?
Well, I got Derrick Henry on my fantasy team, so I'm going Titans.
Oh my gosh. Well, Tennessee for Chris. Andrew. Tennessee for Andrew. Kenny.
Texans.
Kenny going Houston. Jet.
Yeah, trap game, Texans.
Jet's going Houston. Davis.
Titans.
He's flustered. He doesn't know what to do. Paul.
I can't believe you came to me last for this.
I did it on purpose.
We not established this.
I only wanted the benefit of knowing your pick.
Right, exactly.
Crap.
Illusion.
The Titans.
That's perfect. I'm definitely going Houston now. That's Super Bowl bound ship. That's
There you
writing. I was going to call you Steve, but Dre.
Brandon Cooks finally showed up, so he will do it again. Texans.
Wow, a lot of Texans picks. So we're completely split on this. I think that's 5-4 Tennessee, but that's a split one. So be careful with this. Could be a trap game. Baltimore, 7.5-point favorites visiting Philadelphia. Philly needing a win desperately, but this is not the team you want to be facing. I'm taking Baltimore, as is Steve. Dre, who's your pick on this one?
Wait, what was it again? I missed. Come on, Indonesian internet, Kenny.
That's okay.
Give me
That's
a break.
Baltimore, Philly.
Baltimore, Philly, Baltimore.
All right, Paul.
This is my favorite spread of the week. Baltimore is going to absolutely smash the Eagles.
Chris, fantasy implications.
Well,
Please don't say Carson Wentz.
Zach Ertz has been trash this entire season, so I'm going Baltimore.
He's going Baltimore because his tight end sucks. Davis.
Baltimore.
Kenny.
Baltimore Eagles cover.
Oh, wow. Wow. Jet.
Oh, yeah, Ravens.
Andrew.
Baltimore smashes.
All right, so that's a Baltimore sweep pick there. Not against the spread, but definitely for money line. So if you're going to include this on your ticket, Kenny wants you to know the champ is saying, be careful with the spread. And
Don't
a
be.
little wink for those on the podcast.
They're beating them by 20.
Don't be.
They're beating them by 20.
Atlanta goes to Minnesota. Minnesota 4-point favorites against those winless Falcons. Steve's going Vikings here, as I am as well. Don't think Atlanta's playing for wins this year. Andrew, going to start with you on this one.
Is Delvin Cook, is he out for this game? Is Mattinson in?
Out.
They have not
I've-
ruled him out yet,
yeah.
and they even talked to Zimmerman today, and he said he would not rule him out because Dalvin wants to play. So,
Curiosity question. It doesn't fucking matter. Minnesota wins anyways.
all right, so taking Minnie, Kenny.
Atlanta.
Wow, Davis.
Tulio back.
Yep.
According to reports, he's playing.
Falcons.
Wow, Jet.
Minnesota's the best one-win team in the league, so Minnie.
I agree with you there, Paul.
Minnesota.
Dre.
You guys are forgetting who the Vikings quarterback is. So even if the Falcons haven't won a single game, they still have Kirk Cousins. So Falcons get their first win. Miles, here's your shout out for this week.
I do think Atlanta's the best team that doesn't have a win. Cute Cowboys win over them. Chris, fantasy implications.
Well, this is a tough one because I have Calvin Ridley and Adam Thielen, so this has been tough for me. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons because Matt Ryan is more likely to throw to Calvin Ridley.
All right, he's going Falcons. So if you don't know it already, Chris is definitely that fantasy guy who picks games on the ESPN app. That's why we have him here. We love him to death. Let's go on. We're going to Indianapolis. Jet obviously thinking Bengals here, but Indianapolis 8-point favorites hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. I have gone with the Indianapolis Colts. I think they are a fantastic team in the AFC South. Steve thinks the same, going with Indianapolis. Jet, this is your team. Who you got?
Well, if Phil wants to keep throwing picks, I think we lose, but I'm taking Indy.
Going Indy. And Chris, going to you. Fantasy implications.
I'm actually gonna stray away from the usual because I have Joe Burrow, but I'm taking the Colts in this game.
There's some adaptation there, Davis.
Philip Rivers is the worst quarterback on a winning team, but he gets it into the red zone, and the best kicker in the NFL, Rodrigo Blankenship, puts it straight through the uprights. So give me the Colts to win with 6 field goals.
Worst quarterback on a winning team. So he's worse than Nick Foles?
Yes. Nick Foles is better.
It's just because he has Rodrigo Blankenship that he beat the Bears.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just want to clarify that. Kenny.
Colts win, but Burrow's not going to be as bad as he was last week.
Definitely not. Andrew.
I was just going to say Bro bounces back, Bengals.
Ooh, Bengals pick there. Dre.
I do like the up and coming Bengals, and I think T. Higgins is going to have an incredible game. But the game's in Indy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so Colts.
It reminds me of the pick you had last week with the Cowboys where you went all in. Oh, or you talk about the Giants like nonstop, and then he says Cowboys win. Like, what? All right, Paul, round up this game.
Is Darius Leonard in or out?
He's in as of right now.
If he's in, then Indy and they'll cover.
Joe Mixon does not have a good game this week. Go buy him because he's gonna have a big second half. Go buy him. Just throwing it out there. I said it last year, won y'all's leagues. Go do it again this year. Trust me. All right. Detroit visiting Jack. You hear that, Chris? There's your fantasy implication. All right. Detroit visiting Jacksonville. Detroit 3-point favorites on the road against Jacksonville. Steve says Detroit wins this game. He's trusting Stafford's arm. Starting with you, Andrew.
Yeah, Stafford coming off the bye. The team's going to be rested. I think they pull it off.
Perfect. Dre. Going with a tie there for Dre. Chris.
Wait, I'm here.
Okay.
Detroit or Jacksonville?
I couldn't get the mute button off. Who are they playing?
It looks like it's Detroit against Jacksonville in Jacksonville.
Minshew mania. Yes. Jaguars and start Laviska Shenault. He's the fantasy sleeper of the week. I think most of the Jacksonville wide receivers are out, so.
Yeah, I'm going to ride that Minshew mania train with you this week, Dre. I'm picking Jacksonville to win this game. Paul.
I'm with you guys. I'm rolling Minshew mania one more time. Don't let me down, Minshew.
Good luck. Davis.
I know.
People forget the Lions are coming off a win in Arizona.
They're coming off a loss to New Orleans.
Yep.
Oh, Dave.
Okay. Well, they still have a win in Arizona. Okay.
Okay.
Don't you all forget it.
Don't worry, 14 days ago they won.
I'm taking just Paul's lookalike, Matt Patricia, and the Lions to win.
Jed,
Paul.
Jed, going to you.
Jacksonville became the first franchise in NFL history to lose 3 straight games to teams that came into the week against them without a win. I think that's going to go to 4 games. And, well, I guess they have 1 win in Detroit. Didn't they win in Arizona, Davis? Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. So Detroit's going to take that W.
Kenny.
Well, I mean, Minshew mania, Chenault, Cole, O'Shaughnessy, Eifert, these are all lethal weapons, and that's why I'm going with Detroit.
I figured you were. Chris, fantasy implications, where are you going?
I have none, but like Davis said, the Lions won in Arizona, so I mean, I gotta go with the Lions. I always trust Matty Stafford.
Cool. Wow.
Cool.
All right. Well, looks like Minshew Mania is on the bad side of a 6-3 matchup there. So go pick the Detroit Lions to win this one because they won in Arizona and they played with a lead and lost it to New Orleans and they got a bye. All right. So
New
New York.
They lost with the lead to every game as well.
Yep. There you go. There you go.
So,
and they've already had COVID. So you don't have to worry. Yeah. Go pick up those fantasy players. All right. New York Giants, 2.5-point favorites at home against those Washington football teams. And looks like I am going with the Washington football team and Steve is going with the New York Giants. We're going to ride high on those picks. So we're split to start this one off. Paul, who do you have?
The Giants should be favoring no one. Give me the football team.
Chris, fantasy implications.
I actually don't have him again.
Whoa,
that's for the best.
Actually, I know. Awesome. It's for the
Great
best.
Job, guy.
I actually got to use my brain on this one. I'm gonna go with the Giants.
He's going New York. Davis.
Chase Young back?
I don't think so.
I will look it up to make sure, but I don't think so.
Doesn't matter. Football team wins.
Kenny.
Well, I can tell you this for free. I will not be watching this game at all. That is a really gross game. It's a divisional game. The Giants are at home, so I'll take the Giants.
Kenny,
Perfect.
I'm pretty sure I won't know the score of it until like Monday morning when I look at the scores. I won't even be paying attention to it. It's gonna be so bad.
Oh, come on, Cowboy fans. You guys are definitely going to be watching that score.
No,
Jet,
For what?
Believe it or not, there actually is one elite facet to this game, and it's the defensive line of Washington, ranked 8th in run stop and 2nd in the pass protect with 15 sacks. So simply due to that and the fact that the Giants suck at everything, Alex Smith, going to get her done. Washington.
going Washington. Andrew,
Check down Smith pulls it off. I agree with Jet. That defense is actually not all that bad. And unlike the Cowboys, they can stop the run. So, yeah, give me Washington.
that's perfect. Until this week, Andrew, you'll be singing a different tune. Dre, round us up on this game.
I'm curious that we never mentioned that Alex Smith played last week.
That
That's
is
even
true.
better.
That's a shame.
I like
That's a
it.
shame. Congratulations, Alex Smith. That's a huge deal.
I just said that.
So, with that said, this is the snoozer of the week.
There's Kenny chugging on that note.
Yeah, I don't care about this game. So, Giants are the home team. So, Giants.
Going Giants. I will say play your Devontae Freeman, though, even though they can stop the run. He'll still get something through the air. All right. New York Jets visiting Miami. This is my snoozer of the week. Miami going to be in there 8.5-point favorites. Back-to-back wonderful games to be watching if you're on the East Coast. Miami sweet picks for Steve and I. And Dre wants to go first.
Yeah, this can't be the sleeper of the week because it's got our favorite quarterback, Joe Flacco, starting this week. So,
Oh, that's true. That is true. Joe Flacco
versus
is starting.
Fitzmagic, man. It's the matchup of the ages.
And so you're picking Miami?
Yes, of course.
Paul.
Fire Adam Gase immediately. Unbelievable.
You don't get first pick if you fire him.
Yes, you do.
That's true.
I mean, the backfield right now is Joe Flacco and Frank Gore.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Q 2013.
Put some respect on the Hall of Famer's name.
It's a
Unbelievable.
combined 74 years old in the backfield.
I'm not respecting anything about the Jets. I hope the Dolphins
Senior
absolutely hammer the Jets. I hope they annihilate them.
I respect the hell out of Jamison Crowder, though. Big game for Jamison Crowder coming up.
Yeah, garbage time. Garbage
Jet,
time.
what are you
Crowder.
thinking?
We need it.
This would be very Jets to win this one and potentially mess up getting the first pick. It would be very Miami to lose this one because it's Miami. But I'm going to take the Dolphins.
Andrew.
I'm going to take the Dolphins, but Joe Flacco can have another 25-point game over to my boy Jamison Crowder. I wouldn't hurt that at all. Wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kenny.
I hate being in first place, so I'm going to pick the Jets.
Oh my god.
Are you really picking the Jets?
Yep.
Wow. I am shocked. Davis.
I've been on an island by myself twice this year and had it pan out.
Yeah, and you went with it with the Broncos, and it was one of your bad ones. Like, stay away from the Jets, Kenny. I'm like your mom with it. That's your fucking
Jamison Crowder, like
go,
2 TDs,
hang out.
150 yards.
I'm good with the Jamison Crowder day. That's my wide receiver,
Yeah.
so all day.
Fine with it.
Davis.
I don't know what to do because I was gonna pick the Jets.
Oh, you were gonna pick the Jets.
I'm in his
I don't know
head.
what to do.
I'm in his head. Rent free.
It's either Kenny's gonna like have this pick by himself and then he's gonna get it again, and I miss out, or
Jesus.
Make a pick.
and I miss out.
Unbelievable.
This is the Adam Gase Bowl. Give me the Dolphins.
Attaboy. Chris,
I'm
fantasy
all
implications.
Well, I picked up the Miami Dolphins defense in preparation for this matchup, so I'm going to take the Dolphins.
Attaboy. We picked New England and Denver last week. A reminder of your picks. We all picked New England except for Dre. He picked Denver just for reasons that he hates Steve. Anybody want to change that pick? Andrew
Broncos
does.
cover.
Well, we're
I
not
do
talking
too.
about spread, just win.
No.
From what I've heard, all reports were for Philip Lindsay coming back into that offense, and I kind of like Philip Lindsay, so I don't know. And is Cam
Andrew
going to be?
Yeah, I
100%?
can
Cam-
confirm it's going to be Lindsay.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
It's Lindsay, man.
but
Might be the
I don't
only
know
starting back this
Drew
week.
Drew Lock is
Bronco.
back.
I know, but I also want to state to the record that like how healthy is Cam going to be? They showed how bad they are without him. So I like Denver in that.
Are you switching to Denver?
Yeah.
All right, Andrew and Dre both going with Denver. Kenny or Davis? I'll just ask you out of respect for y'all trying to play this chess game with each other. Any y'all changing it?
I'm
No.
not playing a chess game with him. I mean, he's just following my picks. That's what I would do if, I was in.
Kenny, I
But
do-
no, I'm
I do
not
not follow
changing
your
mine.
picks.
I'm sticking with.
Let's round up the fire round picks. Chicago, Carolina. Carolina 1.5 point favorites at home. Steve went with Carolina on this one. Dre, going with you first.
Wow, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going with Steve's pick, Carolina.
Paul, going to you.
This line just has me totally confused. I was going back and forth all day. Give me the Bears.
Going Bears. Chris.
I'm gonna go
Fantasy.
with the Panthers on this one.
No fantasy player?
Well, I mean, I got both sides. I got David Montgomery on the Bears, and I got Robbie Anderson on the Panthers.
Ooh, okay. And you said you picked who?
I got the Panthers.
Okay, so Robbie Anderson, big game, according to Chris and his fantasy implications here. Davis.
Okay, every week I've picked the Bears except the Buccaneers won last week, and they've won every time I've picked them. And the Panthers prove that they're a mediocre team that can win games if they're not supposed to, unlike the Cowboys. This is really tough. I haven't looked at any of the games this week, so for now, let's go with the Panthers.
Going Panthers for Davis. Kenny.
No wonder we never hit 10 minutes. Panthers.
Panthers for Kenny. Jet.
Well, the Bears should be going for their third loss in a row if Tom didn't forget how to count. So I'm going Panthers.
Andrew.
Yeah, I trust Teddy Bridgewater more than I trust Nick Foles. And I also think this is Mike Davis's last week to light it up again in fantasy for me. So go Panthers.
You know what they say, rules are made to be broken there, Andrew. I don't think Mike Davis has a stupendous week, so I'm picking the Bears to win this game and go to 5-1 on the season. I think we're sleeping on the Bears. I was telling Jet before this, looking at their defensive stats and then following along their play calling. I like it this year. So going with my man Nick Foles, Jimmy Graham, 2-touchdown game. All right, that's a good way to end it. Fantasy relevance. And at the end of our Pick'em segment, Dre, tell the people who this was brought to us by.
You.
But it was the mute button. This segment was brought to you by the Porteo Group, a 21-year logistic company based out of Houston. If you are looking for shipping to or from Mexico to the U.S., Porteo Group is your choice. And if you're also looking for nitrile gloves, they can hook you up as well. So portailgroup.com. Go to their website, hit them up. There you go.
Thank you, Dre. But before we go to our sign-offs, I am getting a Steve Burner account message regarding our picks. Hold the phone, folks. He has something to say. Let's hear what he has to say. Come on in.
It is sick. Steve Reisner back again with a recorded message due to my absence from the show. Here are my 5 primetime pick games. Browns versus Steelers. Give me the Browns, Baker Mayfield. Chiefs versus Bills. Give me Josh Allen and the Bills to win. Rams versus 49ers. Give me Jared Goff to go off for 400. Cowboys versus Cards. Give me the runner-up for MVP this year, Andy Dalton, to win 50-12. And then Buccaneers versus Packers. Give me the greatest of all time, quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, to win.
It's got to be Dre.
It's got to be Dre.
I mean, I like his picks. The Cowboy pick was really good. I mean, it was a good hype right there. That was a good hype right there.
I think they said 50-12 for that.
Oh my
game.
gosh.
And the fact Dre's losing his mind.
Thank you for your fake burner account. Dre, I don't know if it's you. I don't know if it's Buttle at this point. I don't know how you have my email address, but thank you for the picks. You must be watching it live.
Have we ruled out Steve to be running his own burner account?
That would be something.
Hey,
rolled that out.
I don't
I'm
think he
just gonna
can figure
tell
out
you-
the technology to send that.
Yeah,
vid.
I'm just going to tell you, and Jet can attest to this. There's not a fucking shot Steve could figure out how to do.
Yeah.
Guy can't even go live on
There's not
Facebook.
one shot. There's
Well,
not
whoever
any
you are,
shot.
we want you on one day. So just reach out to me, and I would love to have you live with the anonymous face. Just come on here. Let's do our sign-offs. That was round 3, brought to you by the Porteo Group. Let's do our sign-offs. Dre, tell the people where they can find you.
That was some good stuff. Good job, Steve Spurner. On that note, you can find me at Dre2124. I haven't tweeted a lot as of late because I've been doing other stuff, but don't worry, I will get you back if you send me a message or whatever. So cool. Peace.
Perfect. Chris, where can they find you?
You can find me on all platforms at Asian Tatum, especially on that Twitch. Just set it up. I'm going to get ready to start pouring out content as soon as possible. So be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. Davis.
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, at ddog_1123. All I have to say is, Baylor, figure it out. Stop getting COVID. Nick Saban, figure it out. Stop getting COVID. And Dan Mullen needs to figure it out and stop getting COVID.
Thank you for that, Davis, and that PSA. Kenny, champ, where can they find you?
You can find me on all social platforms at shooters_pod. We had our winner of the NBA 2K Legend Edition contest. He got his copy in the mail today. We're going to do a ton of great giveaways for season 2. Season 2 will be dropping at the start of November, so be on the lookout for that. And Ernest, thanks for having me on again, man. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Jet, welcome back, and tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, we're on Facebook, Frostbite Sports Podcast, as well as on Twitter at Frostbite Pod. I wanted to mention Kenny and I actually started doing some fun bets recently called teasers. I don't know if you've heard of it or not, but basically you add 6 points to whatever point spread you like, bet 5 games, cash money. We won last week. We're going to keep the times rolling. Look for that on Twitter. And my sign-off message is going to be, it is absolute bullshit that Tennessee can get 23 cases of COVID, get vacation, and then come back and smack the Bills. Fuck that. Okay, thank you. See you guys.
A true AFC South competitor right there. Andrew, where can the people find you?
I should have made a drinking game last night. Every time they mentioned how many times they missed games or days, 16. They said it about 98,000 times on the goddamn broadcast. You would have been wasted. You can find me at Andrew Kahn on Twitter. You can find us at Boomtown Pod on Facebook, and very excited to announce that this is cool for me. UFC 254 obviously taking place next weekend. Habib and Justin Gaethje are fighting. That's going to be a wicked fight. And I'm going to be joined for the after commentary on that one with a 3-time CFL All-Star and a 2007 Grey Cup champion. For those that don't follow the Canadian Football League, that's big-ass news for us. Reggie the Reaper Hunt's going to be joining us, so I'm pretty excited about that.
That's fantastic news, and I'm really glad to see everybody growing and continuing to get more and more following. That's what this is all about. So kudos to y'all, and look forward to hearing that episode. Paul, Fearless Leader, talk to us a little bit. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Steel Curtain PEH, Madden Copy Guy winner. If you do not contact me, at PEHWVU@gmail or on Twitter at Steel Curtain PH, I'm giving that Madden copy and a $25 gift card to whoever beats us this week. So the clock is ticking, my friend, and I need the address to send you stuff. Just so we're
Can I
all
claim-
clear here. I'm
Can
not
I
coming
claim-
to your house. I'm not Googling your house. I'm literally putting it in the app to send you your free stuff. So I don't know. If you want free stuff, guys, hit me up at Steel Curtain PEH. And we're always doing great stuff over Blue Collar. All these guys are great contributors. It's like family. I just want to send out a shout out to Miles. I love you, buddy. Whatever you need, my DMs are always open. You have my phone number. Just get a hold of me.
A big shout out to Miles as well. We look forward to having you back on the show. Steve, next week as well. I'll do my sign off now. I'm Ernest Silva at the Sport Gene. You've been following us all night. You'll be hearing us on the radio throughout the weekend. And hopefully you follow our picks guidance. Kenny and Davis on heaters right now. I'm right behind them in third place, but we are doing really well. If you're not following on our picks right now, Kenny leads all moneyline picks at 57 wins and 20 losses. Davis at 53 wins and 24 losses, and I'm at 52 wins and 25 losses. So very close up there. A lot of different picks this week. So we really appreciate all of your support. Lapsters out there, all alike, thank you for donating to the show. Thank you for being a part of the show. Listeners, if you want to become a Lapster, it's really easy. Just reach out to us, be a part of the team. We put out feelers out there. If you want to compete for our trivia or for our pick 'em, get $25 gift cards, copies of video games, jerseys, you name it. It's out there. We put it out there. So keep following us, keep spreading the news, and appreciate all the following. Good luck, you guys, with your games this week, with fantasy, with betting, and of course, just sit back and watch some football. It's always great just to sit back, crack a cold one, and just watch it. So hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend and be safe.
Bye.